In today's video, I want to talk about the power of slowing down and how this allows us space to actually begin feeling. And we live in this world that has so many distractions, right? We have our phones, we have the internet, we have our computers, we have social media, we have magazines, we have TV, we have so many things that can distract us. And we have to really stop and think, what is this distracting me from? Right? What is this distracting me from? I was thinking about this actually last night and I thought I'm gonna make a video on this. So here I am. But I was really thinking about how there are layers upon layers upon layers of distractions that we have in our everyday lives, and we don't realize that it's actually blocking us from feeling. And many of us have stored emotional trauma, pain, even if it's not on a huge significant level, right? When we go through certain experiences, whether they're major or minor, what happens is if we don't process them, we don't allow them to move through us, they stay stuck in our body and they turn into illness, they turn into disease, they turn into all different kinds of things within the physical body, which ends up slowing us down in our everyday life. For those of you who understand energy dynamics in this physical world, is that in order for us to magnetize things into our experience, we have to be in control of our emotional state. This is so vital, right? If we don't have control over our emotions, we don't have control over our lives. And so when we slow down, when we get rid of all the distractions, what happens is that emotions naturally come up. So when I work with clients and they tell me, I don't know how to feel, I say, yes, you do. You're just distracting yourself. So anytime you feel that something is coming up emotionally, and sometimes this happens so subconsciously that we don't even realize it, that say we're triggered and all of a sudden we go, I'm really craving a donut right now, right? Or we're triggered and we're like, we can't get off our phone. We're stuck on social media, we end up, scrolling through social media for 5 or 6 hours. There's a reason why we do this. If you notice that you have certain patterns that you go to that aren't healthy, but you keep reaching for them, ask yourself, what am I running from? And if you don't know, that's okay. Just stop running. So even the act of not running towards that thing causes you to slow down and actually causes the emotions to rise up to the surface. And it is uncomfortable, and this is why we itch for it more. If we look at someone with an addiction, really that's running away from the self. It's just an extreme form of running away from the self. But when we can get to the core of what are we running from, because it's always a feeling. And often it's an uncomfortable feeling that we've been suppressing and suppressing and suppressing and suppressing. But if we keep suppressing it, it grows. It gets bigger. It's still in there. So even though we're avoiding it today, it'll come up tomorrow. It'll come up next week. It'll come up next year. It'll pop up at some point. So we might as well deal with it now. We might as well clear it out. We might as well become free now, because the benefits of becoming free means that you're a clear channel and you can easily draw in the experiences that you want. Often people ask me, why do I keep experiencing the same negative situation on repeat? Like, why do I keep meeting the same person who breaks my heart? Why do I keep going into the same job where my boss treats me poorly? Well, this is because the universe is trying to show us what is unhealed within us. And so until we heal the wound within us, until we heal the emotional pattern that is often suppressed within our physical body, we're going to keep magnetizing experiences in that mirror that back to us. Why? So that we can feel it. But what do we do when the experience comes up? We stuff it down or we run away from it. We distract ourselves with something. And so every time you slow down, you take away all of your distractions. So I literally mean like spend a day, spend 2 days, spend a week where you say to yourself, I'm not gonna go grab that chocolate bar. I'm not gonna go scroll through my social media 24/7. I'm not gonna go grab that drink. I'm not gonna go pick up that cigarette or whatever it is, whatever your vice is. Every time you choose to stay with yourself, to stay present with yourself instead of running, you give yourself the time and space for the feelings to come up. And like I said, it'll be uncomfortable, but all that's wanted is for those feelings to be felt. So they may come up, and what you may actually experience is days and days and days of crying, or you may experience days and days and days of anger. That's okay. Don't put a time frame on it. Allow it to come up, and just realize and tell yourself, every time these feelings are coming up, you're releasing them more and more, and you're making more room for joy, peace, happiness, and love. Because if our body is filled with resentment and hate and pain and anger, we don't have much room for the things that we actually want to experience. We need to clear that out so we can make space for what it is that we truly want and desire. Not only that, it allows us to more easily magnetize in the things that we want. And this is really what it means to love ourselves. It means to stop running from ourselves. And so for those of you who are on the spiritual path, and maybe you're just starting this journey, maybe you're midway through your spiritual journey, and you've been wanting to learn how to love yourself. You've been wanting to learn about energy dynamics. You've been wanting to learn how to consciously manifest, right? Because it's kind of a newer term. Manifesting from this place of wholeness and love versus from this place of ego and lack. So all of this is in the spiritual toolkit. This is a course that I've created for you. It's a bundle, written material, video material. There's bonuses in there. There's meditations, guided meditations. If this is something that interests you, I highly recommend it, especially if you're someone who is feeling a little bit overwhelmed by all of this information and you want something in sort of bite-sized pieces where you can go, okay, yes, 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 okay, I get this. And then you can begin utilizing it so that you can start living your best life. That's why I create these materials, because these are the tools, the practices, and the information that have helped me over the years to come back into alignment with self. Because when we come into alignment with self, we step into our wholeness, we step into our power, we step into our divinity. And from that space, it becomes so much easier to magnetize in the things that we want and desire because we don't need them. Because we're in a space of wholeness, right? When we don't need things, energetically they show up. And that's the beauty of this physical world. So if you guys are wanting your spiritual toolkit, the information is going to be down below in the description box. But I want to thank you so much. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Go down below, subscribe, hit the bell to get my notifications. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care.